जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदना ब्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदना ब्रज जनरंजना। यशोदानंदना ब्रज जनरंजना। यमुनतीरवनचारी। 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 जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदना ब्रज जनरंजना। 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 यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुना तीरे वनचारि यमुना तीरे वनचारि यमुना तीरे वनचारि गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधर यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना ओ यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुना तीरे वनचारि यमुना तीरे वनचारि ओ हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 बोल हरे बोल हरे बोल हरे बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद। हरिनाम संकीर्तन महायज्ञ के हरे कृष्ण। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupak Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My heartfelt gratitude to the mic system team. Thank you. Because that's one of the most unseen systems and places of the temple. Person comes, speaks, devotees have discussion and kirtan, but without proper system it is not possible. So before I forget, I just wanted to express gratitude. Thank you. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. So welcome everyone. This is our third day on the series of the Pancha-Tattva of Vrindavan. On the first day, we spoke about the glories of Shri Vrindavan Dham. And on the second day, that is yesterday, we spoke about the first out of the 5 tattvas. That is the dust of Vrindavan. Brajraj ki. So there are 2 words. One is Vrajraj, that refers to Nanda Maharaj, the king of Braja. And the other word is Vraja Raja, that refers to the dust of Vrindavan. So yesterday we were mentioning how the holy foot dust of the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas in Vrindavan is the only way by which we can enter the Dham. The Dham is to be entered in humility, on the head and not by the feet. One devotee was mentioning when they were building some spiritual project in the holy Dham, they had to dig through the ground, and they literally dug 30 feet below. And he was mentioning how after digging 30 feet down, they could find soft dust of Vrindavan, which unfortunately has been covered with land and cement and whatnot in the present generation. He said, I collected a whole gunny sack of that auspicious sand, soft sand. He said that sand is how the Shastras describe the dust of Govardhan to be. Very beautiful, very soft. All the stones in Vrindavan are crushed by the hoofs of the cows so that they don't hurt Krishna. It is described the stones of Vrindavan, sometimes if they're sharp, then the arrangement made in such a way that 900,000 cows of Nanda Maharaj, all of them having 4 legs, thank God, all of them with their cows, the cows and the calves, they crush the rocks. And only when the rocks become soft, like how we are describing now by the devotee, then it gets qualified to come under Krishna's lotus feet. So even if we are hard-hearted like the stone, with pointy edges of our false ego, cow-like Vaishnavas, when they crush us and make us humble and soft in heart, only then we are qualified to touch the lotus feet of Krishna. So that is the first out of the 5 tattvas. There is one very exalted personality, and I want you to guess, who applies the dust of Vrindavan all over his body. His whole body is covered with the dust of Vrindavan. And that personality is the second out of the 5 tattvas. Some of us are thinking, yes, Lord Shiva. The outside world says that Lord Shiva is covered with ashes from a crematorium. But the Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas describe that Lord Shiva is covered with the dust of Vrindavan. And there is a proof for this in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the prayers of Queen Kunti, I take that back, in the prayers of Rukmini, the letter of Rukmini, she refers to Krishna as Yasyangri Pankaja Rajas Snapanam Mahanto Vanchanti Umapati Rivatma Tamopahatyai. Rukmini says, my Lord, your holy foot dust in Vrindavan is what Lord Shiva uses as a soap to bathe in his body. So when someone says Lord Shiva covers himself with ashes from a crematorium, yes, that is one understanding, but that's not the highest understanding. The highest understanding is Lord Shiva loves the land of Vrindavan so much that he himself takes the dust from the lotus feet of the gopis, the gopas, Radharani, Krishna, Mother Yashoda, and smears it all over his body. Rukmini has written this in her letter. Yasya angri pankaja raja. The word raja means dust. Snapanam mahanto. This has been used. Vanchanti umapati. The word umapati refers to Lord Shiva. Pati means husband and Uma is the name of Mother Parvati. In her childhood, she had so much short temper, it's described, that just by her glancing, she could set anything on fire. Therefore, her mother used to run behind her saying, "Ooh, Ma!" Ma in Sanskrit means don't, and "ooh" means just a sound. "Ooh, Ma! Ooh, Ma! Don't do that." So she got a name, Uma. That's the history. Many Matajis also have their name as Uma. But I hope they don't... So Lord Shiva is called Umapati, the husband of Mother Parvati. So Rukmini Devi has said, the dust of Vrindavan is so holy and so auspicious that even Lord Shiva uses it on his body to decorate his body. So please, let's welcome the second out of the 5 tattvas in the entry point of Sri Vrindavan, Lord Shiva himself. Shankar Bhagavan ki. Lord Shiva's position in Vrindavan is unparalleled. No one can take Lord Shiva out. If you take Lord Shiva out of the process of bhakti, then Vrindavan will collapse. Who is saying this? Sanatan Goswami says this in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Sanatan Goswami Pad writes in Brihad Bhagavatamrita that the worship to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva gives the fruit of worship to the lotus feet of Vishnu. Sanatan Goswami Pad writes this. But the mood of worship should be proper. He says if somebody worships Lord Shiva, understanding that Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnav, then what will happen? The intensity with which they approach the lotus feet of Lord Shiva is the intensity in which Lord Shiva will take the devotee to the lotus feet of Sri Hari. Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad has said this in the commentary to his own verse in Brihad Bhagavatamrita. As we know, Brihad Bhagavatamrita is an auto-commented book, which means in this world you have books where the author writes verses and then just continues. And there may be another author who comes and comments on it. But Srila Sanatan Goswami's Brihad Bhagavatamrita is auto-commented, which means he has composed the verses and also given a Sanskrit commentary to his own verses. So Srila Sanatan Goswami, in the commentary to his own verse, he says that if someone neglects the worship of Lord Shiva, criticizes Lord Shiva, then forget about getting the lotus feet of Sri Hari. One will not even be happy in this world. So the best way is to approach Lord Shiva in the mood that Lord Shiva is the greatest Vaishnav. If one approaches in this mood, Srila Sanatan Goswami has said, then the intensity in which one approaches the lotus feet of Lord Shiva is the intensity in which Lord Shiva will take the devotee to the lotus feet of Krishna. And Srila Sanatan Goswami seems to be completely mesmerized by his devotion to Lord Shiva. Wherever Sanatan Goswami Pad did bhajan in Vrindavan, he always made sure that there was a Lord Shiva linga next to him. Whether he was doing bhajan in Vrindavan, Lord Shiva's presence of Gopeshwar Mahadev was found. When he was in Kamyavan doing bhajan, Srila Sanatan Goswami, the presence of Kameshwar Mahadev is prominent. When Sanatan Goswami was at Nandagram, at the banks of Pavan Sarovar, the presence of Nandishwar Mahadev is prominent. When Sanatan Goswami used to be at Govardhan, he used to be at Manasi Ganga, where there is prominent presence of Chakleshwar Mahadev. Srila Sanatan Goswami loved Lord Shiva. And Srila Sanatan Goswami is the most powerful spiritual master in Vrindavan. Most powerful. Even till this present generation, people love and remember Sanatan Goswami on the first day of Chaturmas, which was the disappearance day of Srila Sanatan Goswami. It is called as Guru Purnima or Vyasa Purnima, where the whole world worships their Guru, worships Vyasadev. But in Vrindavan you can see Srila Sanatan Goswami, who performed Govardhan Parikrama every single day in his life, he left his body on that day, on Guru Purnima. And remembering Srila Sanatan Goswami, devotees in huge number perform Govardhan Parikrama on the first day of Chaturmas, which is the disappearance day of Srila Sanatan Goswami. I would request the devotees to kindly bring all attention to what is being discussed. Maya Devi will bring side conversations. Maya Devi will make your phone ring. Maya Devi will bring sleep. Maya Devi will make sure that the child talks maximum during that time. Maya Devi will make sure that our mind will go everywhere. Everywhere. But now is the time during Krishna Katha when we should practice to bring all our attention. Krishna has said this, Tasmad ekena manasa, ekagra chittena. With one pointed attention, we should try to focus on Krishna. So let us help each other. Srila Sanatan Goswami Pad, he loved Govardhan Parikrama so much that it's described that Srila Sanatan Goswami did Giriraj Govardhan Parikrama every single day in his life. And for a healthy individual, 20, 30, 40 years old, and those healthy even beyond that age, we generally take about 5 to 6, 7 hours to do a Govardhan Parikrama. And that's the smallest parikrama that we see, 16 miles, 25 kilometers. But Srila Sanatan Goswami used to go through all the villages and do the biggest Govardhan Parikrama ever, the outer circle. Why? For a couple reasons. One, he considered himself to be so fallen that he felt that if he did the usual parikrama, his body will touch some devotee and pollute that devotee. So he wanted to go and traverse a path where there will be nobody that he will touch. Also, it is described, Srila Sanatan Goswami thought that Govardhan will not be pleased if I just circumambulate him. I want to circumambulate Govardhan with all the devotees of Govardhan living in the villages surrounding Govardhan, in and around adjoining Govardhan. So instead of going around Govardhan hill, Sanatan Goswami used to go around all the villages, serving all the Brajbasis, talking to all of them and finishing the parikrama. Phenomenal nishtha, right? And remembering him, the day when Srila Sanatan Goswami departed was the first day of the Chaturmas, Guru Purnima as we mentioned. Even till this very day, more Brajbasis circumambulate Govardhan on the disappearance of Sanatan Goswami than even on Govardhan Puja. That is a very big statement. I'll repeat that again. There are more Brajbasis circumambulating Govardhan on the disappearance of Sanatan Goswami than on the day of Govardhan Puja itself. Not just that, Sanatan Goswami is so dear to the Brajbasis that Purnima, which is called Vyasa Purnima or Guru Purnima, in Vrindavan is called Mundan Purnima. Mundan means the day when you shave up. Brajbasis shave up in grief that their spiritual master Sanatan Goswami has left this world. And that Sanatan Goswami, that great exalted Sanatan Goswami, loved Lord Shiva. So if there is some devotee who for the sake of preaching or making the position of Krishna exalted, which is always exalted, if they try to belittle or criticize Lord Shiva, then that person will neither get Lord Shiva nor Krishna. Neither Krishna nor Shiva. Both Tan Gopal, nothing. But if someone takes shelter of Lord Shiva, the second out of the 5 tattvas, in the mood that Lord Shiva, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, is the greatest devotee, and praying to Lord Shiva that you please give me an entry point into Vrindavan, then one enters Vrindavan faster than what one will on their own. Sanatana Goswami, it is described, that's fine, that's okay. It is described Srila Sanatana Goswami was so dear to Lord Shiva. And it was mutual. Sanatana Goswami to Lord Shiva to Sanatana Goswami. They mutually loved each other. Can you imagine a Gaudiya Vaishnava, one of the 6 Goswamis, the leader of the 6 Goswamis, is loved by Lord Shiva? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Rudranam Shankaraschasmi, that of the Rudras I am Lord Shiva, in the Gita. And that exalted Lord Shiva loves one of our 6 Goswamis. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj explains that one time there was a man who went to Varanasi. We know Varanasi is the headquarters of Lord Shiva, right? So he went to Lord Shiva and he said, he was a poor Brahmana. So he told Lord Shiva that I have a daughter and I don't have money to get her married off. So, oh Lord Shiva, can you give me some money? This Brahmana went to Lord Shiva in Varanasi and said, I need some money to get my daughter married off. Lord Shiva, can you give me some money? Lord Shiva said, I live under a tree. Swayam Mahesha Shashuro Nagesha Sakha Dhanesha Tanayo Ganesha Tathapi Bhiksha Thanameva Shambhu Bali Yasi Kevalam Ishwarecha. Lord Shiva said, look at my situation. Swayam Mahesha, I am the Lord of the demigods. Shashuro Nagesha, my father-in-law is the Lord of the mountains. Sakha Dhanesha, my friend is Kuber. Tanayo Ganesha, my son is Lord Ganapati, Ganesh. Swayam Mahesha Shwashuro Nagesha Sakha Dhanesha Tanayo Ganesha. Can you imagine a position higher than this? You are the Lord of the demigods. Your father-in-law is the Lord of mountains. Your son is Ganesh. And your best friend is the multi-zillionaire. Elon Musk is Sudama in front of Kuber. Can you imagine? And that Kuber is the best friend of Lord Shiva. So much so that Kuber's children are playing in Lord Shiva's Kailas, Manigriva and Nalakuber. Like daycare. Sending his children to somebody's home. They're having a day out, night out. They're having a nice time from one home to another. That's the friendship Lord Shiva shares with Kuber. And Lord Shiva says, Tathapi bhiksha thanameva shambhu bali asi kevalam ishwarecha. Even after so much, because Mahaprabhur bhaktagana vairagya pradhan, ja dekhile prasanna hoye Shri Bhagavan. It is described that the greatest jewel of a devotee is his renunciation. Lord Shiva said, look, I have all of this, but I have renounced it and I stay under a tree. I wear tiger skin and deer skin. I have a garland of skulls. I have ashes all over my body. I wear not tulsi beads, but I have kanti in the form of snakes. And I have a crescent moon on the top and Ganga flows from my head. Oh dear Brahmana in Varanasi, what do you think I can give you? I can't give you anything. He said, Lord Shiva, please don't cheat me. Your Varanasi Purapatim Bhaja Vishwanatham. You are the king of Varanasi. At least give me direction where to go. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj explains, Lord Shiva in Varanasi told this Brahman that you go to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami, who's on the banks of Jamuna in Vrindavan, he has a touchstone. Sanatana Goswami has a touchstone. You please go and take it from him. This Brahmana walks all the way to Vrindavan and comes to Sanatan Goswami and said, "Dear Sanatan Goswami, your master Lord Shiva sent me to you." Sanatan Goswami said, "Oh, you're sent by Lord Shiva." He offered obeisances. Said, "How can I serve you?" The Brahmana said, "Lord Shiva said that you have a touchstone. Can you kindly give that touchstone to me, because I have a daughter and I don't have money to get her married." Sanatan Goswami said, "Touchstone. I had one. Oh yeah, I threw it somewhere." The Brahmana said, "You have a touchstone and you threw it somewhere?" Sanatan Goswami said, "I don't need it. Look, I don't have a daughter to get married of. So I don't need any money. I am sitting under a tree like Lord Shiva. So I threw the touchstone." The Brahmana said, "Where is it?" He said, "Somewhere on the shore, on the banks of Jamuna. Can you search?" "I am busy chanting. I don't have time." So the Brahmana went from sunrise to sunset, pushing and pulling and picking and dropping all the sand particles. He was searching for the touchstone. And finally he found a touchstone that Sanatan Goswami had thrown. Touchstone is that stone, when you touch it to iron, it turns it into gold. And he tried it and it turned it into gold. He was very fascinated. So what the Greeks call as the Midas touch is the Sanatan touch actually. It's the touchstone of Sanatan Goswami. So this Brahmana got this touchstone to Sanatan Goswami and he said, "Is this the one?" Sanatan Goswami said, "Yeah, I think so. I didn't see much, I just threw it. You can take it." The Brahmana was fascinated. He walked all the way back to Varanasi. When he was about to reach Varanasi, he thought to himself, if this sadhu can throw away a touchstone, you can get rid of something. Rasovaryam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Only when you have something higher can you reject the lower. If Sanatan Goswami has thrown away a touchstone, definitely he has something more valuable. I am such a fool, I didn't even ask him. So he walked all the way back to Vrindavan, Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj explains. Sent by Lord Shiva to Sanatan Goswami, the Brahmana came back. And he told Sanatan Goswami that, well, I was on my way, but then I came back because I wanted to ask you a question. Sanatan Goswami said, "Yes, you can ask me any question. Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. This life is meant for asking the right questions. Go for it." The Brahmana said, "This is your touchstone, correct?" Sanatan said, "Yes." "You threw it away, correct?" "Yes, I threw it away." "Which means you have a bigger touchstone. Only when you have a better touchstone can you throw away the lower touchstone." Sanatan Goswami said, "Correct." The Brahmana said, "Can I have that touchstone?" Sanatan Goswami said, "Sure, I will give it to you. The condition is, throw this touchstone back. Go and throw this touchstone back on the hot sand on the banks of the Jamuna, and then come back to me. When you have nothing in your hand, then I will give it to you." The Brahmana looked at Sanatan Goswami and he said, "Are you sure? If I throw it, then when I come back, you will give me a better touchstone?" Sanatan Goswami said, "Yes. Satya vratam, satya param tri satyam." The words of a devotee are never false. So you come. So the Brahmana went and threw the touchstone and came back to Sanatan Goswami and asked Sanatan Goswami, "Now can you give me the higher touchstone?" Sanatan Goswami pulled the right ear of the Brahmana close to his mouth and he said, "Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare." He said, "Dear Brahmana, this is Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. Purna Shuddho Nityamukto Abhinnatvam Nama Namino." That touchstone can only make iron into gold. This touchstone will give you the beautiful, wonderful, golden complexioned darshan of Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. You just chant this mantra. So the Brahmana constantly, day and night, he chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And it is described, Radha and Krishna gave Sakshat Darshan to the Brahmana and also gave him a lot of wealth by which he could get his daughter married off. This is the connection Lord Shiva in Varanasi has with Sanatan Goswami in Vrindavan. This is their intimate connection. It is described that when Sanatan Goswami used to chant japa, Lord Shiva would come and listen to his chanting. Lord Shiva is coming and listening to the japa of Sanatan Goswami. On the banks of Manasi Ganga at Govardhan, it is described when Sanatan Goswami used to chant japa, a lot of mosquitoes would trouble him. So one day he just got up and he left. And Lord Shiva came in the dream and said, "Dear Baba, Sanatan Baba, where are you going?" Sanatan Goswami said, "Lot of mosquitoes here." Lot of mosquitoes. I can't live here and do my bhajan. I can't chant Hare Krishna. Lord Shiva said, "I have left Kailas to come and hear your chanting. Now you please don't leave me and go somewhere else. If mosquitoes are the cause of your trouble, I will speak to the demigod in charge of the mosquito department. And I will tell them not to trouble you." Sanatan Goswami said, "If that is possible, I will stay here." Overnight, it was seen that all the mosquitoes disappeared. Lord Shiva drove away the mosquitoes for Sanatan Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami made the banks of Manasi Ganga to be his bhajan kutir, where Chakleshwar Mahadev on the foothill of Govardhan resides as Lord Shiva, hearing the chanting of Sanatan Goswami. Dear devotees, it is tested. Even now when you go to the bhajan kutir of Sanatan Goswami, you can see mosquitoes around, but never a single mosquito inside that bhajan kutir, even today. Lord Shiva is guarding Sanatan Goswami's chanting from the mosquitoes even till this very day. That is the love Lord Shiva has for Sanatan Goswami. One very beautiful pastime. How many of us have heard of Mahadev? Gopeshwar Mahadev actually is the personality who guards Vrindavan, Lord Shiva. And it is described that if you do parikrama in Vrindavan without taking darshan of Gopeshwar Mahadev, it's not counted. As soon as we come to Vrindavan, our duty is first to go to Gopeshwar Mahadev, the deity of Lord Shiva, and offer obeisances and beg for his approval to enter Vrindavan. It is described Gopeshwar Mahadev has the notebook, the attendance notebook. So if we want to know who's in Vrindavan, we have to ask Gopeshwar Mahadev on the basis of who has come to take darshan. So Sanatan Goswami, even at the ripe old age, in his 70s, every single day early in the morning used to walk from Madan Mohan on the banks of Yamuna up to Gopeshwar Mahadev. It's not a small walk for a 75-year-old sadhu early in the morning. And it's not even like the present day when it's easier to navigate. You have like pakka roads, so it's easier to move. But when Sanatan Goswami was there 500 years ago, it wasn't so easy. Every morning, Srila Sanatan Goswami, before he had darshan of Krishna, he would walk all the way to Gopeshwar Mahadev to have darshan of Gopeshwar Mahadev. Gopeshwar Mahadev told Srila Sanatan Goswami, "Why do you come every day like this? My heart breaks." Gopeshwar Mahadev told Sanatan Goswami, "My heart breaks to see the trouble that you have to put yourself through. You're old now, don't walk all the way and come and see me." Sanatan Goswami told Lord Shiva, "You don't teach me what to do. You don't tell me what to do. It is my love that I want to come and see you every day. You don't stop me." Sanatan Goswami, out of his love, told Lord Shiva, "You don't tell me whether or not I should come. I will come because I have so much affection for you." Can you imagine what Lord Shiva would have done for Sanatan Goswami? Next day when Sanatan Goswami was walking to take darshan of Gopeshwar Mahadev, he was halfway and he crossed a Shivalinga. And that Shivalinga called out to Sanatan Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami looked and Lord Shiva said, "I have come halfway so that you don't have to walk." Is everyone there? Okay. From Madan Mohan to Gopeshwar, this is the distance Sanatan Goswami has to cover. When next morning he walked halfway, he crossed through a Shivalinga and Lord Shiva said, "I have come halfway just so that you don't have to walk all the way." That deity even today is called Vankhandi Mahadev. Vankhandi Mahadev is the manifestation of Gopeshwar Mahadev out of love for Sanatan Goswami. Gopeshwar Mahadev walked 50% just so that Sanatan Goswami doesn't have to take the trouble of walking. From that day onwards, Sanatan Goswami walked only up to Vankhandi Mahadev and came back. he never went beyond to take darshan of Gopeshwar, respecting the love that Lord Shiva has for him. How beautiful is this? Actually, it is described that Sanatan Goswami, he left this world in the presence of Lord Shiva. Can you believe that? Sanatan Goswami left this world at the lotus feet of Chakleshwar Mahadev at Govardhan. The place where he did bhajan was the place where he left his body. He lived all his life with Lord Shiva and departed from this world, thinking, worshipping, and glancing at Lord Shiva. This is the love a pure devotee of Krishna has for Lord Shiva. So therefore, one of the namaparad is to see Lord Shiva to be either equal or different. So properly we must understand. If you see Shiva to be equal to Vishnu, then we don't see the difference in the mood of one being a devotee and one being the Supreme Lord. And if you see them separate, that, oh, they have no relation, then that is offensive because they are the most intimately connected. Hari and Hara are intimately connected. Therefore, without the blessings of Lord Shiva, nobody can enter Vrindavan. Absolutely not possible. At Govardhan, Lord Shiva is called Chakleshwar Mahadev. What is he called? Chakleshwar Mahadev. Not everybody is saying. Chakleshwar Mahadev. Chakleshwar Mahadev ki. Jai. Thank you. I thought with Sanatan Goswami's Samadhi, everybody is in Samadhi. Mahajano yena gatasya pantha. Sanatan went to Samadhi, we will also go into Samadhi. At Govardhan, Lord Shiva is called Chakleshwar Mahadev. And there is a reason why. That place is called Chakratirtha. It is described during the Govardhan Leela, when Indra was throwing showers, rain torrents of flood water. The Brajbasis under the hill of Govardhan were feeling very cold. So it's described in a parallel reading, and please hear this very attentively. It is described, it was Lord Shiva who invoked the Sudarshan Chakra from Vaikuntha. And he instructed the Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Shiva instructed the Sudarshan Chakra. Please come and circumambulate this Govardhan hill at such a blitzing speed that the frictional speed of the spinning of the Sudarshan Chakra will bring in the heat by which the residents under the hill will feel the warmth. They will not feel cold. And because that chakra performed this service, Krishna at the end, he told the chakra, very good, now you can go back to Vaikuntha. Chakra said, this is not fair. You call me from Vaikuntha to perform service in Vrindavan, and when I perform better service, you send me back to Vaikuntha. Don't do this. Give me residence in Vrindavan. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasa. Let me live in Vrindavan. So Krishna agreed. And Krishna gave a place for Sudarshan Chakra at the foothill of Govardhan. And that place was called Chakratirtha. Because it was Lord Shiva who invoked that chakra, the name for Lord Shiva is Chakreshwar. Chakrasya Ishwaraha iti Chakreshwaraha. He who is the master of that chakra. But in Braja, with time, tradition, the pronunciation is all changed. So, Chakreshwar, 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 Chakleshwar, Chakleshwar, Chakleshwar. So now it becomes Chakleshwar. What is Chakla? It is Chakra. But in Sanskrit there is a rule, Ralayor Abhedaha. You can replace Ra with La and La with Ra and there is no problem. So Chakra becomes Chakla. No problem. This is why we can see in the Damodar Leela, Mother Yashoda used this rule. Krishna was standing on the Ulukhal. Ulukhal means wooden grinding mortar. Now if you use the principle of Ralayor Abhedaha, that Ra and La can be interchanged, then the Ulukhala becomes Urukhala. And Uru in Sanskrit means big and Khala means wicked person. So Mother Yashoda saw that her son was associating closely with a very wicked person, Urukhala. Actually, the word is ulukhala, which means a wooden grinding motor. But Mother Yashoda uses the Ralayor Abhedaha principle and makes it urukhala, the wicked person. And because Krishna was associating closely with that wicked person, Mother Yashoda said, I will bind you and punish you. Asat sangatyag, ey Vaishnavachar. The nature of a Vaishnava is to give a bad association. So therefore he's called Chakleshwar Mahadhe. Ki? Jai. Because he invoked the Sudarshan Chakra. The Brajbasis give one more story. They say it was not the Sudarshan Chakra. Lord Shiva invoked his trident, Trishul. And he spun it around Govardhan in such a speed that it went around like a chakra. Because they asked this question, how can Lord Shiva invoke the Sudarshan Chakra? So he invoked the Trishul, but he spun it like one of their superheroes. You know, they have these chakras, and the Spider-Man can throw in a web, and kids can throw their boomerangs, and they can play with their frisbees. So all of that comes from the spiritual world, where Lord Shiva can spin his trident at the speed of the chakra, and it goes around. And because it spun like a chakra, he's called Chakreshwar at Chakra Tirtha. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in one book called as Sankalpa Kalpadruma, he says that we should all learn to offer this one prayer at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Are we all ready to offer? Yes. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says, please everyone chant. Vrindavana Vanipate, Jaya Soma Soma, Maule Sanandana Sana, Tananaradedhya, Gopishwara, Vrajavilasi, Yugangri Padme, Prema Prayacha, Nirupadi, Namo Namaste. Vrindavana Vanipate Jaya Soma Soma, Maule Sanandana Sanatana Naradedhya, Gopishwara Vrajavilasi, Yugangri Padme, Prema Prayacha Nirupadi Namo Namaste. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has composed this, telling all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas that we should pray this to Lord Shiva. What is the prayer? That, O Lord Shiva, who is worshipable even for personalities like Sanatana Goswami. Maule Sanandana Sanatana Naradedhya. You are worshipable for Sanak Sanatan, meaning 4 Kumaras, but you are worshipable for Sanak Sanatan, from Sanak, 4 Kumaras, to our Sanatana Goswami. Maule Sanandana Sanatana Naradedhya. Even personalities like Sanatana Goswami worship you, O Lord Shiva. Our prayer at your lotus feet is Gopishwara Vrajavilasi Yugangri Padme Prema Prayacha Nirupadi Namo Namaste. Please benedict me with pure devotional service at the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, who bless Vrindavan by their lotus feet. Such a sweet prayer. So whenever you see a deity of Lord Shiva, you can offer this prayer. You can bow down and offer this prayer because Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given. Sometimes devotees ask this question, is this not demigod worship? Right? Is this not demigod worship? If we worship Lord Shiva in the mood that he is God and he is one with Krishna, he is the same Krishna, he is the same Ramachandra, just like some people say, Bhagwan to ek hi hai, alag alag vivid naam hai, koi Shiv kehta hai, koi Ram kehta hai, koi Krishna kehta hai. This is wrong. Why? Because Lord Shiva is not happy in his heart when he is called as God. Imagine if you catch one devotee in the temple, like tomorrow I tell Amarenda Prabhu, you are God. He will not like it, I hope. I think he's liking it. Devotees generally don't like. So what to speak of Lord Shiva? It displeases his heart. But however, when we pray to him that you are such a great devotee, you please bless me with service at the lotus feet of Krishna, then he profusely blesses. Demigod worship is wrong when the demigod is taken to be on the level of Krishna. Otherwise, it is not wrong. When you pray to the demigod, in the mood that you are an advanced Vaishnav, you please bless me with bhakti, then there is no problem. With what confidence am I saying this? Katyayani Mahamaye Mahayoginyadhishwari Nanda Gopa Sutam Devi Patim Me Kurute Namaha. Mahaprabhu said the gopis of Vrindavan are our topmost example. And the gopis themselves worshipped Katyayani Devi and Lord Shiva to get a wonderful husband called as Shyamasundar. So following the footsteps of the gopis, we can worship the demigods to get service at the lotus feet of Krishna. And this is not considered to be multi-branched. This is one-pointed. Because your desire is one-pointed. The service at the lotus feet of Krishna. Is that clear? So this is the second out of the 5 tattvas. Shambhu Mahadev ki Jai. Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Chakleshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Bhuteshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Vankhandeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Kundeshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Nandishwar Mahadev ki Jai. Aseshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Ichheshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Kameshwar Mahadev ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Gaur Premanande. So now let's welcome the third out of the 5 tattvas. As I promised, we will do 2 tattvas today. So one was Lord Shiva. Now let's see who's the third out of the 5 tattvas. Any guesses? Govardhan is coming tomorrow. We have kept the best because he's Haridasa Varya. We've spilled the beans. So Govardhan is coming tomorrow. Brinda Devi, she's also coming tomorrow. So the 2 left are Brinda Devi and Govardhan for tomorrow. Yamuna Devi ki Jai Ho. Wow. So the dust of Govardhan or the dust of Vrindavan, Lord Shiva, Yamuna, Brinda Devi, Shri Giriraj Govardhan. These are finally the mystery has been revealed. When Vrajraman Prabhu asked me what is the topic for this series, I said Pancha-Tattva. He said 5 tattvas, Navadvip. I said no, Pancha-Tattva of Vrindavan. So then he asked me, what is this? I said, I will tell you. Then I kept hanging. Even when I came here, Prabhuji said, Arey, bata do ye kya hai, ye mystery. Devotees are asking me, I have no answer, he said. And then to confuse, I said, well, can we change the topic? He said, Prabhuji, first of all, we have put it everywhere. It's going to be Pancha-Tattva of Vrindavan. And I myself don't know what that Pancha-Tattva is. And now you're thinking of changing the topic. I said, no, I'm just joking. So these are the 5 prominent personalities.
Many devotees call me say that I did a typo.
Typo. Yes, Pancha-Tattva of Vrindavan. So let's welcome with our open hearts the third out of the 5 tattvas, Yamuna Rasrani ki Jai. As we start this discussion, I want all of us to do an exercise. Okay? And I will give you 10 seconds time. That's a lot, right? 10 seconds time. I want you to think in the different Vaishnav bhajans that we have. Which are the Vaishnav bhajans and what are the phrases where Yamuna's name has appeared? Did you understand the question? Yeah. Think about different Vaishnav bhajans that we are aware of. Where and keep it to yourself, we will take it. We will give some thinking time at least. You can discuss if you want. You know, those of us from India, even examinations are discussed. So, in the exam hall also we discuss. Jai Radha Madhav. What is the exact line? Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Very nice. So Mataji is saying Yamuna Tira Vanachari. That refers to Yamuna. Krishna who frolics in the forests on the banks of Yamuna. Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Anyone else? Vibhavari Shesha. Where is the phrase? Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana Manasa Chandra Chakor. Very nice, Murli. Very nice. So in that phrase, in the last stanza of Vibhavari Shesha song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, Yamuna Jivana. What does Jivana mean? Life. But here it means water. Because the term is Yamuna Jivana Keli Parayana. Krishna, who is Parayan, expert in playing Keli in the Jivan, the waters of Yamuna. Is that clear? He who frolics water sports in the waters of Yamuna is Yamuna Jivana, water, Keli Parayana. He who is expert in playing in the waters. That Krishna, Manasa Chandra Chakor. Oh Krishna, you are the Chandra and my mind is a Chakor, drinking the moonbeams of your beauty. Very nice, Murli. Good catch. Anyone else? We can kindly raise our hand. Let's not make it an Indian parliament. Yes. Radha Krishna Pranamur. So what's the exact phrase? Kalindira kule keli kadam beravan ratana bediva upar boshabu duijan. That Kalindira kule keli kadam beravan. In the forests on the banks of Kalindi, Yamuna. Yamuna is called Kalindi because she is the daughter of Kalinda Parvat. Kalinda's daughter becomes Kalindi. Parvat's daughter becomes Parvati. Parvat se Parvati shabd. The word Parvati comes from the word Parvat. The word Kalindi comes from the word Kalinda. The word Janaki comes from the root word Janaka. Mithila, Maithili. Kunti, Kaunteya. Pritha, Parth. Dasharath, Dasharati. Vasudev, Vasudev. These are derivations in Sanskrit from the root. So, Kalindi, Kule Keli Kadam Beravan, in the forests on the banks of Kalindi, who is the daughter of the Kalinda Parvat, on a very beautiful jeweled throne, we want to seat the divine couple, Duijan. Ratana Vedira Upar, Boshava Duijan. We want Radha and Krishna to sit on a jeweled throne in the forest on the banks of the daughter of Kalinda. Just Kalindi. Very nice. Anyone else? Yes, Mataji. Jai Radhe, Jai Krishna, Jai Vrindavan. What is the exact phrase? Keshi Ghat, Radha Kunda, Shama Kunda, Giri Govardhan, Kalindi, Jamuna, Jaya, Jaya Mahavan. So there the word Kalindi has come. Yes, where else? Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divya Chinta Manidhama Ratana Mandira Manohar Avritam Kalindi Nire Rajahamsa Keli Kore Tare Shobhe Kanaka Kamal. Narottam Das Thakur has said, the Yamuna is filled with golden lotuses, and on the central wall of the lotus are the divine couple sitting, and on each petal one gopi or one sakhi is sitting. Can you imagine? Beautiful, wonderful Yamuna filled with white swans. That same Yamuna is filled with golden lotus flowers. In the middle wall of that lotus flower is Radha Krishna, and on every petal the sakhis are sitting fanning. And this is all there in the waters of Yamuna. Very nice. Anyone else? Yes. Samarth. Yashomati Nandan. What is the exact phrase? Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasa Rasika Kripamoy. Sri Radha Vallabha Vrindavana Natavara Bhakati Vinod Ashray. That on the banks of Yamuna is the place where gopis did tapasya. 1 whole month. Katyayani Vrat was done by the gopis by bathing in that Yamuna. And at the end of the month, Krishna accepted them as his wives. And Krishna, Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Nilamadhav ki. The gopis bathed in the Yamuna. And at the end of that 1 month, Krishna accepted them in marriage, and he came as the husband and accepted them as wives. And because this month was the month of the gopis doing tapasya in severe cold, November, December, they were bathing early in the morning in the ice cold waters of Yamuna. Krishna remembers this even on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he says, Masanam Margashirshoham, because it was the Margashish Mas when the gopis did Katyayani Vrat. Remembering the gopis of Vrindavan on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna says, of all the months, Masanam Margashirshoham. Otherwise, why will he call Margashish on the battlefield to Arjun, who's thinking whether or not to fight? Why will he say, of all the months, I am Margashish? What has that to do with the fight? Because Krishna is telling Arjun, If you follow my instructions, you will also be as dear to me as the gopis who followed my instructions and obtained me in the month of Margashish. That's the connection in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, any other song? Yes. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has said, "Oh Krishna, who is the hero dancing on the banks of Yamuna." Very nice. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes. Jagannath Ashtakam. Kadachit Kalindi Tata. Right? Murli, can you sing the first verse of Jagannath Ashtakam loudly? Please, go for it. Kadachit Kalindi. Please, go for it. Okay, anybody else who would like to chant the first verse? Kadachit Kalindi Tata Vipina Sang. Yes, go ahead. The mic can pass. Yes, go for it. I think they raise their hand when the mic comes, they're pointing to each other. The kids.
Kadachit Kalindi Vipina Nava Sangi Bravo Mudabiri Nari Kamala Manasva Tamadupa Rama Shambhu Brahma Mara Vishajita Pavo Jagannath
Whole community comes together.
Nayana Patagami Baba Tume.
The last line is most ecstatic. Everybody knows it. So here, yes. In Harinama Tuva Aneka Swarupa, where is the exact place where Yamuna is? Again? Yamuna Pulina Vilasi. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is calling Krishna as he, Vilasi, who sports on the banks of the Yamuna. But before that, even Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, while describing Jagannath, he starts by saying, Kadachit Kalindi Tata. Oh Jagannath, you as Krishna, you frolic on the banks of Yamuna. Can you imagine the position of Yamuna, the commonality in all the songs, the presence of Yamuna? More songs are there. Go for it. Yes, Mataji. Yes. Correct. Taken already. Any other song? Think about it. Is there any other song that we remember? Where the word Yamuna? Huh?
There is whole Yamuna Ashtakam, but I don't.
Vrajraman Prabhu is saying, apart from the Vaishnav songs, our Acharyas have also written Yamunashtakam. Whole 8 verses glorifying Yamuna Devi. Actually, in the Pushtimarg Sampradaya of Sripad Vallabhacharya, the worship of Yamuna is an integral part of Krishna Bhakti. You can see pictures of Yamuna in all Pushtimargi devotees' home, in a bluish black, very beautiful complexion with a lotus flower garland in her hand. Yes, Nitin Prabhu? You can confirm. Very beautiful lotus flower garland in the hand. And she is Shama Varniya. She is in the same complexion as Krishna, because her name is Krishna. Yamuna. Sripad Vallabhacharya has written Yamunashtakam. Srila Rupa Goswami Pad has written Yamunashtakam. Many Vaishnavas have written Yamunashtakam. Yes, Prabhuji at the back. The Sat Goswami Ashtakam. Very nice. Does anyone remember where? He Radhe Vrajadevi Ke Chalalite He Nandasuna Kuta Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale Kalindi Vane Kuta. The Goswamis are running from place to place searching for Radha and Krishna. He Radhe Vrajadevi Ke Lalite He Nandasunu. O Krishna, O Radharani, Kutaha, where are you? Shri Govardhana, in the caves of Govardhan. Kalpa Padapatale, at the shade of the wish-fulfilling trees of Vrindavan. And Kalindi Vane, on the banks of Kalindi, in the forests of Vrindavan, the Goswamis are running, searching, Krishna, where are you? There's one more song by Bhaktivinoda Thakur where he sings, Kusuma Sarovar Manas Ganga, Kusuma Kusuma Sarovar Manas Ganga. Kalinda Nandini Vipula Taranga, Kalinda Nandini, Kalinda Nandini Vipula Taranga. Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kuti, Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kuti. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Radha Kunda Tata Kunja Kutir. Sitting on the banks of Radha Kund, he says, all these beautiful, wonderful places in Vrindavan, O Krishna, where you perform your pastimes. Kusuma Sarovara Manasi Ganga, Kalinda Nandini Vipula Taranga. In Kusum Sarovar, in Mansi Ganga, and in Yamuna, my Lord, the waves of your beautiful pastimes are agitating the surface. So this is the position of Yamuna Devi. Yamuna can give Krishna Bhakti. His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu in one parikrama was mentioning that if you bathe in some place outside Vrindavan, they will say all your sins will be destroyed. Right? All your papa will be destroyed. He said, but if you bathe in the Yamuna, your papa and punya both will be destroyed. Listening to this, devotees started coming out of the Yamuna. Because they were inside, bathing. And Dinabandhu Prabhu was announcing, outside if you bathe, papa will be destroyed. Devotees were like nicely taking holy bath. He said, but in Yamuna, apart from papa, even punya is destroyed. One after another, everybody put their gamcha and they started coming out. They asked Dinabandhu Prabhu, then why we should bathe? His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu explained, Papa causes suffering in this world, and Punya causes joy in this world. But Yamuna destroys both, including the camera. Yamuna destroys both, the Papa and Punya. Why? Because she gives us back home, back to God. We don't have to take another material birth to either enjoy or suffer in this world. That is the power of Yamuna. Can we hear a few pastimes now? Very sweet position of Yamuna. Yes, Murli has one point to say. Madhurashtakam. What about Salilam Madhuram? Yamuna Madhura, Vichi Madhura? Yeah. Sripad Vallabhacharya has said that Yamuna is sweet, the waves are sweet. Salilam Madhuram, Kamalam Madhuram. Even the lotuses on the Yamuna are sweet. Very good, Murli. Murli has done complete research. I think he should join, where is that? Yes, Mataji. Mama Mana Mandire Nayana Jamuna Jhare Anivaraha Tumara Virahe Giridhari. Very nice. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Mama Mana Mandire song, he says, my Lord, Krishna, tears are flowing like the Yamuna in separation from you. Very nice catch. Thank you. Thank you. Actually, before the class, I made a list of the songs that I remember, but I missed this. Thank you. I will add it to my list. Very grateful. Yes, Damodar Hari Prabhu. Baladev Vidyabhushan.
That Yamuna Devi is Vishaka Devi.
Yes.
And yeah, and there is a prayer he has put there. I don't recall the whole.
Yes, this is true. Yamuna Devi is actually the manifestation of Vishaka Sakhi. Vishaka Sakhi is closest to Radharani. Closest. It is described that Vishaka Sakhi was born on the same day at the same time as Radharani. And therefore Vishaka Sakhi and Radharani have the same birth chart. And therefore, they have the same future. And therefore, because Vishaka Sakhi is Yamuna, as much Krishna meets Radharani, so that's how much he meets Yamuna, because they both have the same destination. They both have the same chart. Yamuna's chart as Vishakha and Radharani's chart as Radharani is the same because they both appeared on the same day at the same time. So they have the same future. So therefore, both meet Krishna as many times as possible. And therefore, to meet both Krishna on the boat with Radharani goes across the Yamuna. So Yamuna and Radharani both get Krishna's time equally. Thank you, Prabhu. Very nice point. Now let's, yes, at the back. Yes. Yeah, that's already covered. I think the students did that. But we will still take it. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Yes. See? I didn't understand, but but I could catch the word Srinathji, Mahaprabhu and Yamuna. But the point is, even in Gujarati songs and so many colloquial, in Bengali, in Sanskrit, in Gujarati, and in other songs also, I think maybe in South India also you may find reference. What is that? Swati Tirunal Kriti is there, with the name Yamuna. See? Braj Bhasha, Hindi, so many songs, and they all have Yamuna. If you take Yamuna away, then there's no Krishna Leela. So let's hear a few beautiful, wonderful pastimes about Yamuna. It is described that one time in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna told Srimati Radharani that very soon I am going to go on Mother Earth. Listening to this, Radharani fainted. Krishna said, why did you faint? Radharani said, no, in separation from you, I cannot be without you. Krishna said, no, I'm not going alone, you're coming with me. Radharani said, but you know, I don't go to this world. It's Martya Loka. I don't go to the place of mortals. Krishna said, I can fulfill any desire of yours if you agree to come down on earth to help me in the pastimes. Radharani said, I have 3 desires. The first one, I want Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan to manifest in this world. Krishna said, I have already sent. Bhuloka Vrindavan is Goloka Vrindavan. Second, Radharani said, I want Govardhan. Krishna said, already sent. Radharani said, now the third one is the most important. If she is not there, I am not manifesting. Krishna said, without you saying, Yamuna is already there. So, listening to this, Radha and Krishna decided to come in this world. It is described when Krishna asked Yamuna Devi to come. Yamuna is in a very beautiful gopi form. But in service, she takes the form of water. Just like you can see Brinda Devi, she is in the form of a gopi. But for service, she takes the form of a plant. Similarly, we can see Govardhan is a personality. But for service, he takes the form of a mountain rock or a hill. Similarly, we can see spiritual masters. They are powerful representations of Krishna's energy from Golok. But still, to relate with us, they take human-like forms. Right? Same with the deities also. So similarly, as soon as Yamuna Devi was told to come in this world, she started flowing like a river. She left Goloka Vrindavan, mixed with Ganga, and she started flowing. So 3 rivers, Viraja, Ganga and Yamuna, mixed together and they started flowing in. As they started entering, they went from Goloka Vrindavan, rupturing all the shells of Vaikuntha planets. And through all these transcendental Brahmandas, coming into Swarga, coming through the hole that Vamandev himself created by the crack in the material shell, by the tip of his toenail, flowing in this world, it is described, Ganga went south and Yamuna started flowing through the Kalinda mountain. And because she appears from the Kalinda mountain, the name given for Yamuna is Kalindi. And Ganga, she goes to Gomukh, Gangotri. So in this way they split at that point. Now when she appears in this world, Yamuna Devi, she can switch back and forth in a gopi form at the same time as a river. That's simultaneously present. So to appear in this world, she has to accept parents. She just cannot come flowing from nowhere. So there has to be proper parents. So it's described, she appeared from the sun god. The sun god is the father for Yamuna. Therefore, one name for Yamuna is Bhanu Nandini. Bhanu means the sun and Nandini means daughter. The name of Radharani is the same for Yamuna because they have the same astrological chart. So it's the same name for both. One is Radha, one is Anuradha as Vishakha. It is described that Surya Dev has a wife called Sangya, and when they got married, the effulgence of Surya Dev was so blazing that Sangya closed her eyes looking at her husband. She said, I can't even look at you. You're so effulgent. Now Surya Dev did not like it because Surya Dev was in a romantic mood. He wanted to talk to his wife, but the wife was going away, closing her eyes. Surya Dev, because of his heat, naturally he's pretty hot-tempered place. So the sun god, then he cursed his wife. Surya Dev cursed Sangya that because you are closing your eyes while approaching me, I curse you. The son that you will bear will close the eyes of the whole world. And the son born was Yamaraj. And he goes around closing everybody's eyes. Yamaraj. He's the god of death. So Surya Dev gave this curse to Sangya, and Sangya gave birth to Yama. Now she went to Surya Dev and said, if you can reduce the intensity of your effulgence, then I can come and see you at least. Your effulgence is so glaring, I can't even see you. So you're cursing me, but now you have to give me a blessing also because it's your fault, not my fault. So Surya Dev said, yes, I'm sorry. Like the husband, he agreed to his mistake and he said, I'm sorry. So Sangya said, now I need a benediction. So Surya Dev said, okay. The first one I gave you was the one who closes everybody's eyes as a boy. Now I will give you a girl who will open everybody's eyes spiritually. So first was Yama, the second was Yami or Yamuna. So the word Yami in Sanskrit or Yamuna refers to the daughter of Yamaraj. The sister of Yamaraj. That's correct. Thank you. Thank you. The sister of Yamaraj. So the first was Yamaraj, the second is Yami. Now it's described, right from her childhood, she had only one desire. And her desire was to marry Krishna. Because she is eternally Krishna's consort. Just like Radharani, Yamuna as Vishakha has the same mood. So what did she do? She asked her father to make a palace underwater, under Yamuna water, a golden palace, so that she can sit and meditate and do austerity. So Yamuna performed austerity in a palace in her own waters, in a golden palace made by Surya Dev. She was sitting and meditating and calling out to Krishna sincerely in her own waters. Can you imagine? Yamuna Devi is praying to Krishna in a palace made in her own waters. In the Mahabharata, this is mentioned. Mahabharata describes that the Kauravas were not ready to compromise in any way. They were not ready to give any tract of land to the Pandavas. And finally they agreed and gave barren land to the Pandavas, which is called as the Khandav Prastha. Khandav Prastha, as we know, is the barren tract of land which was useless. So Duryodhana was trying to cheat. And he gave that barren tract of land to the Pandavas, where you can't do anything. Now the Pandavas didn't know about it, but they have Krishna with them. And if you have Krishna on your side, even barren fields can become fertile. We all know our own hearts. We know our own hearts. Over lifetimes it was barren. But by the touch of Prabhupada's mercy and Krishna's glorious kripa, some hope of fertility, spiritual fertility in the heart is there for the seeds of bhakti to blossom. So the Pandavas came to Krishna and said, we don't know what to do. Krishna said, no problem. We will burn down the whole Khandav Prastha because Agni Dev has been hungry for a long time. So we will give Khandav Prastha as meal, as bhoga to Agni Dev. As a result, when Agni is pleased, he blesses and gives weapons which we can use in a battle against the Kauravas, Krishna is teaching. So Pandavas said, okay. Krishna set the whole Khandav Prastha on fire. Agni Dev through fire ate up the whole forest. And in joy, In pleasure he appeared and gave so many different weapons to Krishna and said, this is all for the Pandavas. Now Krishna gave all of that to the Pandavas because of the heat of the forest fire. Maybe the kids can settle down a bit. Because of the heat of the forest, what happened was, Krishna felt thirsty. As we know, when we come after a fire sacrifice, we feel thirsty because of the heat of the fire, right? So because of the forest fire, it is described that Krishna felt so thirsty that he was sleeping under a tree. And then in the middle he woke up and he told Arjun, that I am really thirsty. Can you help me with some water? Oh Arjun, after burning down the Khandav Prasth and giving this as an offering to Agni, we have received weapons. But apart from that, we have also received a lot of thirst because of fatigue. So my throat is dry, Krishna said. And he told Arjun, can you please get me some water? Nearby was the flowing Yamuna. And it's described, Arjuna didn't know about it. So he starts walking to find water. And there he finds a very beautiful, wonderful princess who's just roaming in the forest. Now think about it, in the middle of the forest where there's no human habitation, you find a very beautiful princess, and it's described, she had 2 hands and she had the complexion of Krishna, with the most beautiful celestial ornaments and lotus petal garlands. So Arjuna asked her, who are you? She said, my name is Kalindi. Arjuna said, what are you doing here? She said, I am performing tapasya with the desire to get married to Krishna. Arjuna said, Krishna? He's right there. So you are Kalindi, meaning you are Yamuna? She said, yes. I am performing austerity in my own waters. Arjuna said, lo and behold, you want Krishna. Krishna is here and Krishna wants water. That's Yamuna, that's you. I can be the priest for this marriage. Arjuna goes and tells Krishna. And when Krishna gets to know that Yamuna is performing tapasya, Krishna goes and accepts her hand in marriage. Please note, this Yamuna is the one who appears as Kalindi, as one of Krishna's queens in Dwarka. Out of Krishna's queens, Kalindi as Yamuna is the only queen who is a Vrajavasini, who is based out of Vrindavan. The only queen. So therefore, naturally, Krishna is most attached to her. Most attached to her. It is described that when Krishna was disappearing from this surface of Mother Earth, just before departure, Krishna told Parikshit Maharaj, and Krishna told his great-grandson, Vajranabh, that I have some service for both of you. Is everyone in the story, by the way? No? Yes? Little bit? Louder? Thank you. Krishna, just before departing, he told Parikshit Maharaj and his great-grandson Vajranabh that now when I depart, all the queens are going to cry in separation. All the queens in Dwaraka will cry and weep. My only request is, please bring them to Yamuna in Vrindavan. They will find solace while being on the banks of Yamuna. So Parikshit Maharaj and Vajranabh, they agreed. After Krishna departed, Krishna's 16,108 queens, they were all crying and weeping. So then Parikshit Maharaj and Vajranabh, they got all these queens to the banks of Yamuna in Vrindavan. And the queens looked at Yamuna and they started asking her, you are Kalindi, you are one of the queens, one among us. We are all crying in separation from Krishna. How is it that you are flowing so wonderfully? Yamuna said, all of you are separated, not me, because Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. Vrindavanam parityajya padam ekam nagacchati. Krishna may leave Mathura to go to Dwaraka, may leave Dwaraka to go to Kurukshetra, may leave there to go back to the spiritual world, but he never leaves Vrindavan. Therefore, Yamuna said, I eternally live in Vrindavan. The queen said, how can we be pacifier of our separation from Krishna? What is the thing that we can do to feel solace and not feel that separation from Krishna? Yamuna said, I will tell you tomorrow. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. What Yamuna told the queens will be the cliffhanger for tomorrow. Vancha kalpatrubhya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, Amarenda Prabhu, for covering the second and the third Tattva of Vrindavan. So let's express our gratitude and thank His Grace Amarenda Prabhu sincerely from the core of our heart by sincerely chanting Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! So now again, Prabhu will participate in the Kirtan amongst us. Remember that this will be the second last and tomorrow will be the last Kirtan. So please participate with all your presence. And that's a humble request. Thank you. Also, after the end of the Kirtan, I have some Charnamrit and Tulsi leaves from Prabhu's Shaligram. So you will be given after the end of the Kirtan. Hare Krishna. Sorry, one more other request. Ayan Prabhu is doing a lot of effort to make sure that lighting is proper, but what happens is that devotees kind of distort the whole lighting. So wherever he is placing the light, so make sure that that formation is not distorted. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Also one more announcement. Tomorrow 4:30 we are starting Japa, group Japa. The temple will be open, temple doors will be open at sharp at 4:30. So before Mangalarti we will have 1 hour to chant our rounds along with His Grace Amarenda Prabhu. One more humble request. Please let the inner circle be for all the devotees who are playing instruments and also who are going to sing the chorus actually.
He's just gone to hit the mridanga. Yeah. Bhavik has gone to hit the mridanga.
Shuddha and Komal. So let's say you go. These are the notes basically. Gadhani Komal. Okay? Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni ra ba ma ga re.
Two mridangas together. The opposite side.
Play Aroha Avroha once.
No, but you can look through there. Yeah, that Prabhu if you can move. The opposite effect will be better.
Okay, you play once. Okay, no, don't play off notes, okay? In the kirtan, if you haven't practiced, you can keep the violin aside, but no playing off notes in the kirtan. Gadhani Komal. Sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni ra ba ma ga re sa.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can we all chant louder, please? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. One kartal is going off somewhere. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Everyone.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone together, please. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, much louder, please.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare.
Everyone, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare. Krishna Krishna, Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare everyone Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everyone, much louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Everyone Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Radha Ramana Hare Govind Jai Jai Govind Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda 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 Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya 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 Jai Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Jai Jai Govinda Jai Jai Gopal Hari Govind Radha Ramana Hari Govind Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govind Jaya 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 Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavan Shri Govinda Gopinath Madana Mohan Radha Kunda Sham Kunda Giri Govardhan Radha Kunda Sham Kunda Giri Govardhan Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahava Kalindi Jamuna Jaya Jaya Mahava Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. One last time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare much louder Rama Rama Hare Hare everyone much louder Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe Jai Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe Gaura Nitai Amar Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jai Gaura Nitai Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Hare Nitai Gauranga Jaya Gaura Prabhupada Pranadhana Gaura Hare Prabhupada Pranadhana Gaura Hare Jaya Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe Radha Nila Madhav Shri Oh Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Radha Nila Madhav Shri Radhe Radha Nila Madhav Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe
Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Shri Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Shri Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Shri Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Lora Hari Bol. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama. One last time for this night. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Now we'll sing it together. 3, 2, 1. All our hearts together, all our voices together, all of us calling out to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha Nila Madhav. One voice, one spirit. Let's go. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, हरि नाम संकीर्तन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की शशिनंदन गौरंग महाप्रभु की जय अवधूत शिरोमणि नित्यानंद राम की The most beautiful, wonderful, magnanimous Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Radha Nil Madhav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Anant Koti Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki, कलियुग पावन कलि भय नाशन हरि नाम संकीर्तन के कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम राम हरे हरे Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Bol.
रामा एकादशी की हरि कथा हरि कीर्तन की जय जय श्री राधे श्याम. Disgrace.